content that I'm putting out, consider hitting that like button, hit the bell for notifications so you stay up to date when I post new content, and of course, subscribe. Alright. It's another dreary day here in Ontario, Canada, and it's a pasta day. Typically Thursdays are pasta days. We tend to switch it up, but the kids totally want Alfredo sauce. Banging. I got 30 minutes. Oh! I've got 30 minutes. It's 10 after 5, really. I've got 30 minutes before Husbandito should be home. Can I pull off a chicken veggie Alfredo sauce? Keeping it light because they also had pizza for lunch. I don't know, but we're gonna try. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, first of all, I've got my pot going with my water, and we're going to start building, we're gonna saute our veg first. So we're gonna crank this pan up to medium high. I'm using a Gotham steel pan, I'm using a Curtis Stone DuraPan. I'm using 4 cups of vegetables. I've thinly sliced some mushrooms. I've got some asparagus, as my grandfather, my nono would say, and I've got some roughly chopped spinach. Because I'm using the DuraPan, I don't have to use any oil, and I'm guaranteed that nothing is going to stick. It's not going to burn, it's not going to nothing. If you don't have a DuraPan, feel free to use olive oil. Let's get a closer look, shall we? Alright, we're using some new technology today, so we're gonna hope that the tripod here stands the test of time, and we'll take a look. To this, I'm just going to season the vegetables with salt and pepper, because you're gonna want to season every step of your meal all the way through. I'm also going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. I'm not baking the pasta, but in one of my previous videos, it was garlic bread that we made an abundance of so that we can freeze it for ideal situations like this. Now, yes, I know, pasta, carbs, garlic bread, carbs. Listen, my kids are super skinny, and it's not even a matter of the skinny things. We're teaching them proper meal planning. But a small piece of garlic bread to dip in their Alfredo sauce every once in a while, guys, isn't the biggest deal in the world. I'm going to link the description I'm going to link the video in the description down below for my garlic bread, because it's a freezer quality meal side that I made myself, that when I break it down, each side works out to 75 cents. So my half a loaf of garlic bread is 75 cents. Now there's 4 cups of vegetables in here. In addition to this, I'm also going to be using some artichokes. That's just a me thing. I'm using pickled artichokes because it's going to cut through the fat a little bit, and I'm just a sucker for pickled artichokes. Totally a me thing. It's weird. It's eccentric. It's me, yo. I'm okay with that. Let's get back to the food. We're going to let that saute. I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees because we're going to be using some of that frozen garlic bread that we made. We're using 3 cheese tortellini, and I mean, it's going to cook for 6 to 8 minutes. I freeze it because typically I use this for instant pots, but again, kids are like, I want Alfredo sauce, so I gotta comb the freezers in the kitchen, just in the fridge, to see what do I got that's gonna make sense. I mean, I used half of a 5-pack, so this was only $2.50. We'll get all through that. We're gonna let this saute, and we're gonna show you what it looks like when it should be done, and then we're gonna build our sauce. For our sauce, we are going to be using 1 liter of cream. Now, when it comes to Alfredo sauce and you're making it from scratch, the fattier, the better. 18 to, if you can do, and your tummy can handle the 35% cream, bless, go ahead. Having gastric bypass, 5% is gonna put me to the challenge anyways. So we're gonna be using a full liter. We're going to be using about 1.5 cups of Parmigiano Reggiano. If you cannot find that, a good substitution is Romano. We're only going to be using about a cup and a quarter. It's going to be lighter. Normally my Alfredo sauce has a good 2 cups of cheese in it, so it's going to be a little bit reduced because of the vegetables and all that really yummy goodness. You're also going to be using 1 clove of garlic, finely zested in. We're going to use our microplane because we want it to melt in the sauce. If not, you're going to get your prep ready and you're going to chop your garlic in bigger pieces to flavor the oil with the garlic itself, and then remove the garlic whole. So go ahead and get your prep done. I'm going to continue with mine, and we'll see you in a sec. Alright, my vegetables are to the point where I think they're done. Let's take a look. I'm going to try not to drop you. Okay, the mushrooms have shriveled down and secreted all their water, which has also evaporated by the heat. And the same has been done for the spinach. So that's the point where things are starting to get dry in the pan. That I'm going to... Are you hot? Yes, you are. This is how I burn myself all the time. I'm going to remove them. I'm going to reduce the heat down. And I'm not going to dirty another vessel. I'm literally just going to put them in the same measuring cup that I have them in. 1, because I don't want to do more dishes than I have to, let's be real. And number 2, I showed you in the beginning what 4 cups of packed vegetables in my measuring cup look like. And now, and I pack them, like I squish them down in there good. We are just at the 2 cup mark. Okay, a lot of them are water-based, so don't get scared when I say 4 cups of veg, guys. And really, they're all really nutrient-dense vegetables that we're using. We're not using really garbage material, so keep that in mind. So for our sauce, it's now on low. We're going to add a good tablespoon of some EVOO, that's extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have it, you can substitute it for the oil that you do have, but olive oil is a really good oil. It's really good fat. I've got 2 small cloves of garlic, so I'm going to go ahead and use 2 small ones. And this is my zester, guys. This is my microplane. I'm due for a new one. Oh, I ordered some. Yes, I did. Moving on. And I like to zest in my garlic. I like it super fine. I find that it melts in really nice. I burned it myself. It happens. I find that it melts in really nice. Okay? And that's it. That's it. The oil will take care of it. It'll melt in through the cream. Now this is a sauce you guys are going to want to baby. What that means is that don't put it on and walk away and get distracted. I know, life happens. We all get distracted. Don't do that. Because the protein in the cream is going to separate. And you're going to come back to little tiny curds of floating butter in your pot, which should be Alfredo sauce. Don't just crank it up on high heat, okay? So we're going to turn this up a little bit to medium. As I say, don't crank it on high heat. And we're just going to saute the garlic. So let's take a look at exactly what that looks like. Okay, so we're just going to get a nice little color and let the garlic melt away. I do have 1 or 2 bigger pieces in there. My family is generally okay with biting into a piece of garlic. Yours may not be. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to let the garlic go. That's a bigger piece than I would have liked. For about 30 seconds longer. Because I don't want it to get brown. I don't want to have a bitter, acrid taste to it. Okay, and then putting it back on low, we're going to empty out the whole thing of cream. Full disclosure, I have already used a 1/4 cup of this in a previous dish. My vanilla cupcakes, which we'll upload soon. So I'm just going to pause at this point to go into my fridge to get another one to add in a 1/4 cup. Okay, so we got the cream in. We're going to turn the heat up to medium, high, about 6 for me. So medium is a good platform, especially if you're new to making sauce. So we're going to let that come up to a boil. When it comes up to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat and we're going to start adding our cheese. Now when we add in our cheese, we're not going to add it in all at one time. Do not add that whole cup and a quarter of Parmesan cheese. You're going to get a whole hot mess of glue. Don't do that. You're going to ruin everything. We're going to add about 3 to 4 heaping teaspoons at a time, mixing thoroughly, and we're going to let it come back to a boil, and then we're going to continue to add. Okay? My timer's gone off for my garlic bread. I'm going to get this in a pan and in the oven. Okay guys, it's come up to a boil, so I'm going to add about 3 to 4 heaping teaspoons at a time. That was the end of that Parmesan cheese. I always have room in the freezer for more Parmigiano. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some more. I did turn the heat up just to get it to a boil. Okay, so once we get the cheese in, we're going to stir. We're going to baby it. We're going to make sure it doesn't curdle. Okay, we don't want the protein separating. We don't want any butter. We don't want any of that nonsense. We just want a nice light cheese. Okay, so continue to mix it. And when it's thoroughly mixed and you can stop stirring, make sure your temperature is at medium-low, and when it comes back up to a nice bubble, we're going to add more cheese. So we're back up to a nice bubble. Let's see what that looks like, okay guys? Do you see the bubbles starting to form? Okay, when it becomes a little rapid like that, that's when I know that things are properly cooking. So we can start to add in cheese, right? Because every time you add something into your pot here, you're kind of dropping the temperature down and you're slowing down the process. And especially when we stir, yes, we're stirring, but it's also disturbing it in its process and doing what it's trying to do. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And we're going to keep building until our cup to a cup and a quarter of sauce is gone, and it's the viscosity that you like. Okay guys, while our sauce is going, I just want to talk to you about the chicken. I am adding chicken. In one of my previous videos, I told you that I break down chicken, rotisserie chicken often that I get from Costco. In one of my last shopping hauls at Walmart, I got a whole Maple Leaf Prime chickens for like $4.80 something cents. So I threw it in the Instant Pot for 45 minutes on pressure cook, let it release naturally, and then I stripped it, broke it down. These are typically for my soup sizes, like when I do chicken noodle soup or I do chicken and dumplings in the Instant Pot. But I ended up getting 3 large curry bags, so double this size, and 2 small sizes. So really it works out to be about 75 cents to $1 for each kind of small bag there. So our protein is only going to cost at most $1 this evening because we plan grocery shop. Now even if you're a single person, I know things can be expensive, but a prime chicken, a whole chicken at $5, if you don't have the Instant Pot, guys, no worries. Just season it with some nice salt and pepper. There's a little bit of EVOO on the top. Throw it in your oven and roast it. You can strip it down and then roast your bones and then boil those up for a really nice chicken stock. There's lots of ways that we can break down a chicken and save hella lots of money. If you strip down the meat, throw it in freezer bags. You can have it for curries, you can have it for pizza, you can have it for salad, you can have it for Mexican tacos, you can have it for soups and dumplings and pasta dishes. Oh my gosh, and it's endless and endless and endless. And if you're a single person, you really only need a bag that size. And that's, you know, substantial, and that means you could potentially get 8 to 12 meals for $5. And if you build your bones into a stock, 50 cents a meal. So there are ways to be budget savvy. Now let's take a look at our sauce here because it is getting a little thick. Okay. Okay. Oh. So when oh my gosh, I really hope, I'm using a new tripod, guys. Amazon finally came through. Holla. So it is getting a little thick. I'm going to stop with the cheese at this point. So I've added in probably a total cup altogether. And I'm just going to turn it down onto low, and I'm going to let it lightly simmer. So simmering means I'm controlling the set temperature that I want. I'm not letting it rapidly bubble and boil. Okay, this is not hocus pocus. And we're just going to lightly continue to see little bubbles here and there. It is getting thick, and as it continues to simmer and go through that process that I just explained, it's going to cook the cheese, and the cheese is the thickening agent. So if I continue to keep adding cheese because I'm like, oh, I didn't get to the 1 1/4 cup, I'm going to end up with a really thick sauce that I really don't want. So what I'm also going to do at this point is, because my sauce is literally where I want it, I'm going to let it go on low for another 1 to 2 minutes, because I've been talking. I'm going to add in my vegetables. I'm going to add in my chicken, and I'm just going to let all those lovely flavors marry together. I'm going to turn the temperature right up on my boiling water, and when she comes to a rapid boil, we're going to salt her, because your pasta water should taste of the ocean. We'll get that boiled, and then we'll mash everything up together, and you can see. Okay guys, another reason why we're going to add in our chicken and our veg, and another reason why we don't want this sauce hella thick, is because we're going to pull, first of all, your vegetables and your chicken are going to finish cooking in here, so if it was thick and gloopy, we wouldn't get that factor, okay? And we're also going to pull our noodles when they're about 30 seconds to a minute to done before they're done, so they still have a little bit of bite to them. Okay, and we're going to finish cooking them in the sauce. And again, if it was really thick and gloopy, it wouldn't really do that. It would coat them nicely, but you'd still have a little bit of a gummy texture to your noodles, and that's not what we're going for. We're going for a very simple, rustic, yet delicate dish. And we are right on schedule. Had I boiled my pasta a little bit sooner, bangin'! I may be 5 minutes late, but Husbandito called to say he's gonna be late. Blessed! Okay guys, our pasta has come up to a rapid boil. So we're going to salt it. The reason you also want to salt it when it's a rapid boil instead of just water is because if it's just kind of, stale water that hasn't come up to a boil yet, the chemicals in your salt are actually going to stain the bottom of your pan, and over time you'll have a buildup. Just food for thought. So that's come up to a rapid boil. We're going to go ahead and throw in our cheese stuffed tortellini. Now you can, by all means, go ahead and get a regular 454 gram bag of capellini or linguine, fettuccine, spaghetti, spaghettoni, whatever you prefer. Rotini would be really good in this as well. And generally I use Barilla. I really like the bite on that. But you can get it for $1 when it's on sale, $2 regularly. So, I mean, there are ways to reduce the cost of this meal even further. Sorry, just checking on my loaf. She's looking good, so we're just going to shut her off so she stays warm. So you can reduce that and take $1.50 off the cost of what I'm spending. I just always have cheese tortellini in the freezer for soups. It's literally a 4-minute Instant Pot dish, so they're always there. And it's a 2-pack for $5, guys. You'll always find ways to utilize some tortellini. Just saying. And while I have you here, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, ring the bell to get notified when I post new content, and subscribe. What I'm doing for my first 100 subscribers, when I can reach that milestone, is I'm going to do a draw and I'm going to do a giveaway. So one lucky winner is going to win a kitchen gadget that I adore, brand new, no cost to you, only to me. We'll have it shipped to you at my expense. A gadget that I adore and that I cannot live without in this kitchen. I have a few ideas. So hit the like button, share, subscribe. I'll Okay, we'll see you when our pasta, so when your pasta is done, it's going to be floating at the top and it's going to be swollen. So right now, you see there's lots of space in between our noodles. They're really itty bitty and tiny. So when they're swollen and floating at the top, then she's done. Alright guys, I'm going to turn my sauce down to low. It's looking lovely. Do you see how they're swollen and they've grown in size? So they're still about a minute away. I can feel that they're still, I'm going to do this without burning myself. They're still a little doughy, but they're a perfect opportunity for me to throw it in the sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. Side note, I've decided to make salad because people are like, what do you mean there's no salad? So it's just a spinach salad with a little bit of romaine, some cucumbers, some grapes, some peppers, the random things that I always have in my home. So really and truly, the amount I use is probably about 50 to 75 cents for the entire salad. And it'll go really well. So we'll have a spinach salad, we'll have the cheese stuffed tortellini, we've got the garlic bread. So we'll break it down for you in terms of a cost, as we always do. It will definitely be an under $12 meal that we can comfortably feed 4 people, likely with leftovers, as we normally do. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead. Not used to this tripod yet, I apologize. We're going to go ahead and give that a lovely stir. And we're going to let this cook for another minute to 2 minutes in all that glorious sauce. And I'm going to throw in a few pieces of some artichokes, some pickled artichokes, because I love them. But I'm going to do that on the side for me because I don't think anybody else will appreciate said item. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my salad. I'm going to put this on low, and you're literally on the lowest setting. Push down all your noodles. Make sure they are soaked and covered in your sauce, and let it go for another minute. When it's done, in 1 minute's time, we're gonna plate it for you guys and we'll break it down. Okay guys, let's plate her up. Full disclosure, I've already taken some out for my toddler so I can put it in the fridge so that it will cool down. So I'm just going to do a nice portion. Okay? And don't forget, they're gonna have bread, they're gonna have a spinach salad, some more of that lovely sauce over top. Wow. Oh my god, it looks good. It looks good. It looks great. I'm not going to put their salad on for them. Like I said, I cut up the garlic bread, nice and itty bitty. They'll have a side plate for salad. Okay, some Parmigiano. And here's the trick for Parmesan, guys. Okay, most people just jump the spoon on. Don't do that. So you're going to hold it in your hands like this, and with your little finger, you're going to tap. Guarda. Watch. We're making it rain. Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm going to put a little bit over top of that bread. Beautiful. Didn't even need the full spoon, but if you dump a full spoon, it wouldn't have been enough. You would have needed like 3. Who needs that? Look at that. So there's chicken and spinach, asparagus, there's mushrooms, the cheese tortellini, the garlic bread, the spinach salad with all the like grapes and the peppers. Let's break her down. My chicken will be generous and say $1. The cheese tortellini I used was $2.50, so we're at $3.50. This was 75 cents, so we're at $4.25. The amount of Parmesan cheese I used is probably 75 cents to $1. So we're going to say 75 cents because that's probably more accurate. So we're at $5. The cream was $2.99, so $3. So we're at $8. And the amount of veg, literally, I used 3 big mushrooms. I used like 8 stalks of asparagus and like 2 cups of spinach I just cut down. So $1.50. That's like it. Feeding 4, I can feed 6, but feeding 4 very well for literally $10 and under. Because don't forget, you switch out the pasta to a boxed pasta, and it's only $1 versus the $2.50. So there you go. Chicken and veg Alfredo, easy. And P.S. by the way, I made it within 37 minutes. And if I wasn't doing a whole lot of talking, I could have had it done in probably 25. But I enjoy the time we spent together. As always, guys, if you like the content that I'm putting out, like, share, hit the bell to stay notified, subscribe. And from our kitchen to your table, please, friends, enjoy. Say bye-byes. Bye, guys. We'll see you in the next one.